politics? Can you say like this? Because Aam Aadmi Party, when we contested for the first time,
It's not that simple. What is happening to Aam Aadmi Party now?
sir, but in Delhi it has started.
See, it's more complex. We are getting into now political issues, but I have no problem. A big city and a rich city is going to be different from the poor rural areas, because economic prosperity and better awareness of your enlightened self-interest makes you behave a little differently. Not radically different, it's not 100-0, but the percentage of people who are willing to vote beyond the traditional inducements of money or caste or short-term freebies is going to be larger. Two, in northern parts of the country, politics is not as entrenched as in the southern parts of the country. An MLA or an MLA's constituency, typically, there are about 2,000 fellows on behalf of an entrenched party who are working near full-time, round-the-clock, 5 years, assisting the people, becoming intermediaries between the government and the people. Without that, there is no political viability. About 200 of them are funded by the party leaders in that constituency on a permanent basis. That's why politics is an incredibly high-cost business, much more than you imagine. In the north, it didn't happen on that scale yet. The third is, in our electoral system, even if people trust you and respect you, unless you are seen to be one of the top 2 parties or candidates, you have 0 chance of getting elected. Because even people who might otherwise vote for you, they would not vote because they are certain that you will not win. And what happened in Delhi and later in Punjab is, Congress party committed suicide in Delhi. Suddenly, in the people's imagination, Congress disappeared as a viable candidate. Therefore, only BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. Initially, people were not that sure. Therefore, if you notice, BJP got the largest number of seats, a few seats less Aam Aadmi Party, Congress got a distant third. When the next election was held, people realized third party is now dead. It became a one-sided election. Bihar, same thing happened when Lalu Yadav was defeated. Initially, people were hesitant. Everybody thinks that I want something better. I am not sure you want something better. So they hesitantly voted. Nitish Kumar, his party got significant number of seats, but not enough to win power. But once that election is over, people realized that they are sufficiently vexed with Lalu Yadav. Therefore, when the time came, next election was held, they decisively went in favor of Lalu Yadav party. That's how our electoral system anywhere in the world works, first past the post system. In our part of the country, none of these factors apply. On top of it, there is tactical shrewdness and cynicism of Aam Aadmi Party. Some of it is good, some of it is dangerous. The freebies, which I believed, I was the supporter of Aam Aadmi Party until recently. Now I am not so sure. I can understand in a democracy you have to get the votes, therefore some amount of compromise is required. I felt it was an acceptable compromise. Free power, but within certain limit, free water, so on and so forth. Now what is happening to Aam Aadmi Party? They are making that an article of faith. They are not saying in a democracy we have to manage welfare and development both. They are saying to hell with everything. Everything free is our mantra. So Aam Aadmi is ultimately in the long term not a good thing for the country. If that is there, if they continue, persist with that approach. And two, tactical shrewdness in the short term is okay. Because you blame everybody and anybody under the world. I am only a good guy, everybody is a bad fellow without a shred of evidence or with minimal evidence. But two can play the same game. Once they start playing the game the same way, you see what is happening now. And in a large country, there will be some shoots here and there. You must learn lessons from that. But there are no easy, instant nirvanas, unless there is a systemic change. If you want to stick to principle, I don't want to offer freebies. I don't want to divide people on caste, region and religion. I don't want to lie to people. Of course, I don't want to offer money for the vote. And I want to really tell the people what is in their best interest and offer that agenda and stand on my record and then survive. It's going to be incredibly difficult. It will happen eventually. It will not happen anytime soon. It will take time. And India is not one country in that sense. India is like 20 countries. The political culture of each state is somewhat different. And therefore, the way the voters respond depends on the local context also. So you must not be impatient. But to accelerate the process, some big systemic reforms like electoral system change and some other changes are brought about, then the process will be accelerated and much more uniform in the country. Unfortunately, there is no appetite for that in the country. All parties, earlier governing coalitions in the country or the present dispensation, NDA, while there are some significant and important differences in some respects, in terms of political management, they are all identical. They are equally cynical. None of them is looking for change in the rules of the game. And that's one of the challenges of Indian politics. So there is no instant nirvana.
Like and subscribe Eagle Media Works.